Hey, what's going on, Arsenal fans? What's happening, people? Enjoy the weather because the sun looks like it's coming back out. Bruno Guimaraes, that's Leon's Brazilian midfielder. Things are starting to pick up now. I'm hearing now that there's going to be a 25 million bid that's going to be going through for the player. There's a lot of things that are going on in the market, a lot of hearsay, a lot of paper talk. I am hearing some rumblings through as well. But my biggest issue is why haven't we got rid of some of these players that we're trying to get rid of? We are already trying to struggle under the 25-man roster. If you're bringing in Ben White, then don't worry about it because Ben White is just a one-for-one replacement of David Luiz. So you don't really have to worry about that spot. It's a type of player that we were looking for in order to take over the reins and the leadership role that David Luiz had. And Ben White is a growing player who we can develop and become an Arsenal legend. Hopefully, that's the plan. And with Tavares that has come in as a backup left back, with Lokonga that's come in the midfield, we're now starting to sort of overstretch ourselves. If we don't get rid of 3 or 4 players, then this transfer window can become very difficult. One way how Arsenal are looking to do that is James Maddison. James Maddison talks now are starting to intensify, and Arsenal are now looking at a way to find a solution to getting that deal done. As we know, the player's already said he's very interested in coming to Arsenal. The relationship between him and Leicester City is irreparable. It looks like Leicester are willing to let him go. But as I said, they have fired up that fee from 60 to 65 to selling 70 million, which I said last week. That has caused a major problem for Arsenal. One, because a Jack Grealish type player is already going to complete his move to Manchester City tomorrow. So Jack Grealish, 100 million. And that has kind of set a precedent for those type of midfield players like a Foden, a Saka, who we know already, those two are already rated around 90, 95 million. So if you're talking about a James Maddison, it's understandable that there's going to be a fee in the region of that amount. How Arsenal are trying to deal with it, though, is to try and see if they can offload a quartet of their players, as in Eddie Nketiah, Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, Maitland-Niles. So that is something that is being proposed at the moment. I think that's a pretty good deal when you look at a swap deal for Maddison. In fact, it's probably too much because with Reece Nelson, you've got a budding player who has all the attributes of a quality winger and just hasn't been given a chance. So he can Gnabry his way off to another team, and then you'll probably regret it in a couple of years' time. A Joe Willock, well, let's that is what it is, isn't it? We're not going to really talk about that. Same for a Maitland-Niles who just broke into the England team and we've kind of ruined him. And Eddie Nketiah, who, if you play him, he'll provide. And he'll provide you on both ends of the ball, on offense and defense. And he too hasn't really had a bona fide run in the team. I'm talking about a good run, 5, 10 games. When we played in the season before, he was able to win us games, Southampton and West Ham. I remember big goals from Eddie Nketiah that won games for us. But we haven't really given him the run in the team ever since he got suspended and Lacazette got his position back. So I think that in that respect, look, it would be sad to see 4 talented player goes, but then Maddison, he could be the answer. I mean, who knows? If that works, it's targeted at around that value, but if there's a swap deal in place, it wouldn't be 70 million Arsenal would be giving up for the player. So if it's workable, get it done. If it's not, then move on. Good to see Saka come back into practice today. Among the fan base and the team, it's great to have that kind of positivity and a lift. Player of the Year inspires everybody at 19 years old. Was a big part of England's Euro 2020 run. And it's just good to see him back in training now. As I said before, he's one of our own. We welcome him, and it's time for us to lift him as a fan base when we see him at the Emirates Stadium this season. And it's really about him and Smith Rowe and Pepe, guys who we know as young leaders of the team, including Kieran Tierney, that really took us to another level on the latter half of last season. And let's just pray and hope that they can carry that form over into the season as a whole, because we still have like the likes of Martinelli, who's going to be in the Olympics final with Brazil. against Spain. So he's going to be a late blossom in terms of Arsenal's pre-season and the start of their Premiership campaign. But we just have to work with that as it is. At the moment, we've got a load of wingmen, and I don't think you'll necessarily miss a player like that, considering that there will be moves to be done. But as I said, we need to ship out some players because the math don't work out at the moment. You first of all need to sell players in order to gain funds, and we haven't really done that. We seem to be spending, and there's nothing coming in. And the remember, guys, 25-man roster, that has to be equated for, and homegrown players, that has to be equated for. So at some point, you're going to have to turn around Man City style and say to us, a few players, no room for you here. You're going to have to find your own. And that is in the likes of Torreira and all those other players. So guys, there we have it. Some really uplifting news today. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.